Yo, buckos, it's finally happening. We finally got some juicy new gameplay footage coming straight from the source today. Armored Core 6, a little bit of a demo, I guess. It's a no HUD. We're just going to follow through here and just give my first impressions. It's not really my first impressions. I've watched this like 600 times today. I am so hyped for this game. Right off the bat, it looks like we're getting our mobility back from Gen 4, Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer. Flying around is not something we did a lot of in 5 and Verdict Day. Which, don't get me wrong, I loved those games. I feel like they did a great job taking the series in a good direction. I enjoyed it a lot. But it is going to be cool with the huge verticality of these stages, these levels. I just look at this place. It's amazing. Right off the bat, something that strikes me, it looks like there is definitely a lock-on feature. Something that, to my knowledge, I've never seen in an Armored Core game before. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm sure it's for the best. I'm sure it's going to make the game a lot more accessible for players. It's going to feel a lot more modern. So hopefully it doesn't take too much of a skill ceiling away. Being able to aim and get your targeting computers locked on to people, something that you used to have to do manually. Of course, the kick looks amazing. But overall, the game looks fantastic. It just looks super fluid, super fast. There's definitely a weight to it. You can tell when the mechs are walking. Not so much when they're flying, but when they're walking. But overall, it looks like it's going to be great. I cannot wait. This game has been on my wish list for a decade. I've got tweets out there. I'm sure you can search for them. Just begging for Armored Core 6, and we are finally getting it. So a little bit of slower combat there. First off, I'm going to say this. This is Armored Core. It is not a Souls-like. It will not be Souls-like. Do not buy this game if you're looking for a Souls-like game. However, I also think it's just a little ignorant, or maybe not ignorant, but just a little biased, maybe, to say that there isn't some Dark Souls DNA in this game. The Souls-like has been around for a long time now. That's what they've been making pretty much non-stop. It would be silly to not expect a little bit of that DNA to make it into the game. Now, this is what we're here for. The absolute juiciest part of the game is actually building your core. It does seem a little simplified from Gen 4, Gen 5. It doesn't look like you're going to have all of those individual weights to put on, changing things like your turning speed. But this is where it really starts feeling more of that Souls DNA for me. Obviously, 3 dimensions, the speed, combat is definitely Armored Core. However, these like one-on-one boss fights with these huge telegraphed attacks that you're meant to learn and dodge as you play through definitely feels like some Souls DNA. Now, I will say that Armored Core has been around with huge boss fights long before there were Dark Souls games, to Souls games in general. But like the deliberate, especially this guy here, the way he swings these huge telegraph attacks and have very specific ways to dodge, just feels a little bit more modern to the way that FromSoft is making their games. Not a bad thing at all. This is going to be amazing. This fight in particular looks super fun, but people, they're just getting bent out of shape over the Souls-like comparison. I can see why, us old heads playing Armored Core games since the PlayStation 1. But you got to understand, they've built a name for themselves off of a genre. For us, it was Armored Core, but for them, not so much. It's a lot of people have never played an Armored Core game, so hopefully this is going to be a great introduction to the series. Hopefully it just comes around and using that popularity of the Dark Souls genre, everybody hops in and gives it a try. Maybe a little bit less niche than it was, prior. So the only time will tell, but I'm going to leave you here with the official gameplay trailer we got about a month ago. I am super stoked for this game, and we're definitely going to be covering it and playing it all the time, so expect to see more of it here on the channel.
augmented human, C4621, has awakened.
One of the infamous handler Walter's hounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven. Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A coral response from the generator. Watch out!
Why hide behind another's call sign?
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.